Roosters 4-3 so far this season. The Bulldogs just the lone win. Saw a glimpse of Joseph Suaali'i there, his third game for the season tonight. A couple of teenagers in the Roosters lineup. A couple of tough hombres up front tonight. Thompson, Vaughan, De Lock Horns, Waria, Hargreaves and Collins first up.
This time our run here on that short side, Corey.
Game 5 of round number 8.
Are you ready, Matt?
Gore Stadium, the venue, Bulldogs Roosters underway. 178th meeting of these two great clubs. And Collins on the first carry of the night, back beyond the 10-metre line. Bells and then Gama will get an early touch. No Daniel Tupou this week. If you're joining us late, haven't watched the preview, Adam Kieran has his first start for the year in the centres. So the left looks very different for the Roosters, with Kieran alongside of Nangama. 15 metres inside their own half. And quite the wrestle. Roosters nice and direct in the opening set of the night. And the first kick will be provided by Luke Keary from just outside his own 40. Certainly not his longest. Bit of a wobbler out the Foxes' way. So Josh Addo-Carr with the ball, fresh from his first try-double in the blue and white.
Well, we heard Trent Robinson say how important it was to win the middle tonight. No Josh Jackson for the Bulldogs. Max King has come off the bench and he'll start at the back of the scrum, but Waria, Hargreaves and Collins have the job, along with Victor Radley, to win the early part of the game in the middle of the field.
A 5 inside their own half. Ockenball came in for a touch, and Max King with number 16 on his back, but in the starting side. He's been a good addition to the club this year. Certainly a Supercoach favourite. Duffy on that carry. And back for the kick from Flanagan. From 35 metres out, Chasers will compete for the ball. It doesn't quite fall their way. Tedesco under pressure with Avarillo coming through.
He got it on the second grab, James Tedesco, and although it's not raining, it has been wet here this afternoon, so the ball will be a little slippery for the back three. It's a little juggle from Tedesco. Might have been a touch from Avarillo too. It made it all the more awkward to take.
Suaali'i went on that carry. Now Tedesco.
I like the way Suaali'i attacks the defensive line. When he's got the ball in his hands, he attacks the defensive line.
That was certainly evident last week, or last Monday. There's now Tupounua up over halfway for the Roosters, but it is the last tackle and a short side kick from Walker, who was then finished off after kicking. The ball's gone out on the full. Flanagan certainly finished his work in attacking the kicker.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't late from Flanagan.
Right, James. Here, boys, right here, Jared.
Right foot kicker down a short side. Well, he just grabbed him. It might have gone on with it a little more than I thought originally, but no harm done. And the kick, you're very awkward down a short side when you're a right foot kicker.
Now the Bulldogs, Marshall King's away. Support was looming, almost overran him. Amarillo got past the ball carrier. 19 metres away from the line. It is an opportunity though. Centre field with Flanagan. Well, this is nice and lively for the Bulldogs fans in. Marshall King working left for Burton. They're set up with Duffy. They were headed Addo-Carr's way. 10 from the line. Now Burton, Flanagan, shaped to go under a couple of times. Waria Hargreaves there to clean up the Bulldogs halfback. Marshall King back for the kick from Burton. Left foot, oh, it's not his best. It's just gone out to Addo-Carr, able to bat it back in. He might get a second kick, he will. And the Roosters, well, there's a result. Maybe a few little early signs. Might just be the Bulldogs' night.
Well, that was two poor kicks from Matt Burton. The first one came off the side of his boot, travelled, well, it was 10 metres short from where he wanted to land it. He ended up with the ball again and then grub it, went straight into the Roosters players. Joey Manu trying to take that one, which was pretty tough because Burton put some weight on that kick. I'm thinking if that ball gets through the defensive line, it goes dead anyway. But they do get the result.
Round here.
Well, Flanagan has been called to the other side of the scrum. Yes, this is the NRL, not the under-7s. And maybe it is. We'll pack it again.
Just can't stand up there.
They've got some issues here. Well, this is giving the Roosters a little bit of respite, just a bit of time to prepare a defensive set.
Jeremy, let's go. Arms down, mate. Head in, James. Hold there, mate. Wait for the break.
What a chance, though, for Canterbury. Need to capitalise. Pengai Jr. outside the scrum. We know his offloading ability. The Roosters know his offloading ability. Start a few times for the Broncos in clashes with the Sydney Roosters. Set restart. Thompson was hit hard over the top by Radley. He may give away another one here, Radley. Marshall King. Tufty out the back with Flanagan. Short for Shop. Shop is held up by make it 4 defenders. 4 tacklers in on the centre. Back for Burton. Wasn't a good ball. Vaughan will take a settler. Canterbury 11 from the line. Marshall King out in front of Flanagan. Again for the Englishman, Thompson. Good tackle, Tupounua. Oh no, an error at the play of the ball. And Canterbury squandered opportunity on an attacking set.
Yeah, still had the kick left, didn't they, the Dogs? And the mistake there made by Luke Thompson. Well, yep, facing he was all over the place, wasn't it, Luke? He could have been penalised for not facing straight.
Dare I say, a Bulldogs breakfast, that, not a Dogs breakfast.
Okay, make sure in.
That was like a horror show.
You just can't afford to waste those opportunities when you get down here to either keep the pressure on or grab some points.
Now we can go down to the sideline after all of that activity. James Hooper here at Addo-Carr Stadium. Good evening to you.
Evening, Andrew. G'day, everybody. Look, the good news at ground level is that there is no rain around despite the recent downpour that has been all across the state. The surface is a little bit slippery, no wind around. As we saw, it took those fireworks some time to clear.
Good hard charge there from Tupounua. Roosters 5 metres inside their own half. Warrior-Hargreaves and Keary combining and angling back. Just picking up the tempo a little in this set, the Roosters. That run from Crichton. High ball down to Addo-Carr. He's had some brilliant moments at this ground. Grand finals, 6-try effort for Melbourne. Actually scored a hat-trick his last game against the Roosters. That was with the Storm last year. That trick would be handy tonight. Now Burton on a nice scoop and attacking the Roosters' right-hand side defence. Addo-Carr and Crichton there. Crowd wasn't happy with that. They don't hear the bell though. Marshall King's fired 1 warning shot tonight already. Now Vaughan. Inside the Roosters half now. And again attacking the Roosters right. Burton, kick over the top from Shop. And on the run is Nangama. Really attacked that football, bringing it back. But a little more enterprise about the Bulldogs' work in that set. That hurts though, conceding a penalty on play 2.
Well, it's only been a couple of late tackles. The Roosters have played the ball inside the Dogs' territory last set, just before they kick the ball. This penalty will give them an opportunity now to start their set. It's on the 40-metre line. Their best chance so far in the game.
Start with Verrills and Warrior-Hargreaves. He had a stormer the last time these two clubs met. 21 runs over 200 metres. Bradley 22 metres away from the line. Big line set to the right. Keary takes them forward with Walker delivering the flattest of passes. Goal line defence now required for Canterbury. Radley, Warrior-Hargreaves just fell to the ground. The kick is perfectly weighted. Oh, Tupounua may have got there. Not sure he's prepared to claim it. He can find the try line, Suaali'i Tupounua. I wouldn't say he's getting up ecstatic. Possibly he's not sure either.
Yeah, half-hearted raise of the hand, wasn't it, after the fact? Kick from Sam Walker.
It's cleared.
It was a good
Roosters
one.
kick Chase as onside.
Tupounua is onside. Avarillo turns to chase. Looked like he was stumbling a bit, Avarillo, and certainly Avarillo pushed the ball into Tupounua's hands. Was there any grounding of the football, though? Can't tell from that angle. Does he still have his hand on the back of the ball, which was unsighted from that camera angle?
Well, I'm thinking
Just
no,
looking to determine if there's a knock-on off
should be Roosters knock on.
We have
Unlike
a backward
That
try.
the Bulldogs might go from possible try to 20-minute restart, which would be magic for them.
No, he just pushed the ball out in front of himself.
So I was
We
a
have a
little
knock-on
surprised,
off
and it wasn't a
Tupounua.
replay. It's only
We have a decision.
Dufty dropped off in the chase across. I mean, he's in front of the ball, like he's in front of Tupounua, and left it to Avarillo to challenge. Just little effort areas. Bulldogs fans are looking for their players to be spot on. Players resumed and a penalty straight away.
Well, they were all offside. They were 7 metres offside.
That's a fair estimate.
7 metres.
I'll be looking for a balk, and that wasn't a balk.
They're saying to take off. They took off way early. I mean, Ockenball's gone old school with the ball on. No one's racing up, taking the tap on the ruck. Not sure what old games Jaden Ockenball's been watching. Here's Avarillo. And Avarillo was driven back by the Roosters' defence. 25 away. Ockenball, infield for King. And able to offload late, that's good. Canterbury, Flanagan, then come back in field with 4 players lined up left. Marshall King to Flanagan, heading for Max King. 9 from the Roosters line. No score as yet. Marshall King, then Vaughan. No offload in this tackle. That's the 4th. Marshall King will come Burton's way. Props in front of Keary. Keary had hold. Finished off by Verrills. Again going to the left. Flanagan's kick took a ricochet. Tedesco ends up with it for the Roosters.
Very good edge defence there by the Roosters. Their little men up in the face of the playmakers from the Dogs, giving them no time. And then after that kick, they don't get a result from that. They give a penalty away. Offside. Dogs defenders in and around the ruck.
Foot on the ball.
Penalty of the match. The ball come inside a couple of tackles. Certainly, Bulldogs attack going great work. Darling's win, but Dufty's done a job there. I mean, that is lone man posted at the back, who's come up with a marvellous piece of play, and Canterbury, as a result, have it 7 metres inside the Roosters' half.
Well, Keary was going for maximum ground there, and there's Dufty, inches from the sideline. Did extremely well there.
That is tightrope stuff. Cross for Thompson. So will they grow in confidence this set? Marshall King, Flanagan, that left side again, Burton with it. Manu is there on him. Marshall King for Vaughan, bit of ball play. And the Roosters defence up to it. Collins that time and lays on Flanagan. Marshall King, Burton, another ricochet off the legs. Maybe an offside, the Roosters. They've got a knock on anyway. The Bulldogs will be able to reload, reboot, start again.
Yeah, the Dogs getting the result off the back of a kick again that didn't find the space between the defenders. I've noticed Matt Burton, a few of his kicks along the ground generally rattle into the legs of defenders. I haven't seen him find space very often. And I'm not talking just about tonight's games. I'm talking about the previous 3 or 4 games that we've seen from the Dogs.
Well, they try something right. I mean, Pengai Jr. is getting cold early. He's not being set up with any plays. As Dufty attacks, the right side have been left alone here by Canterbury. They'll have a dummy half shots. Roosters defence too smart for that. Not on their watch this time. Back for Flanagan. In for Max King. 3 defenders on King. Play 3, done and dusted. 8 metres from the line. Marshall King, Burton, and a set restart. With it is Waddell. They continue to go left without really doing anything dazzling, and then the Roosters defence clocked off. They've bundied off. And Josh Addo-Carr literally like a fox into the chook pen. I won't take the story any further, but he's got reward.
Well, off the back of the kick that came off the legs of the Roosters, they get the result again. The Bulldogs, they get another set, and Josh Addo-Carr, quickest play the ball. Joey Manu was caught in no man's land, neither at marker or back in the line, and he split those defenders. Luke Keary was the marker, but the Fox was gone by the time they realised, too late. Got his upper body past Joey Manu, and that made it impossible for Luke Keary to hold him up or stop him scoring that try.
Josh Addo-Carr, 3rd straight week, a Bulldogs try scorer. And if he goes the sequence, he's gone 1 try round 6, 2 tries round 7. Can he go 3 tries round 8? And the ground, as I mentioned earlier, he's had so many big moments. Bulldogs on the board first, and it's a little embarrassing, the conceding, the manner the try was conceded by the Roosters.
Well, they have had the bulk of possession, and a couple of things have gone their way. The bounce of the ball certainly favoured them in the early part of this match. They've been able to get through 9 of 10. So they've controlled the ball. They've had more chances down this end and have made the most of it. And the Bulldogs needed to be first to score. They don't want to be trailing the Roosters. The Dogs looking to break a 7-game losing streak or a 6-game losing streak. They don't want this to become their 7th loss, and had to get off to a good start.
So Burton with the kick, a man with a 56% career record, as opposed to Kyle Flanagan's 77% career. He's kicking this one from the left-hand side of the uprights. The 6 points to 0. Bulldogs off and running, and the kick is wide. James Hooper sideline.
The Fox gets his 4th try, Vossi, in Bulldogs colours. 8 games for Canterbury-Bankstown now, and you could see that vision after the try where he had all the players huddled together. He was very vocal. The reason is he's captaining the side this evening. Josh and also Luke Thompson are co-captains of the Bulldogs. Of course, Josh Jackson has been ruled out due to COVID.
Well, he scored a couple last week against the Broncos. They did lead for 50 minutes of that game.
So Tedesco is the man kicking off. And Canterbury will feel a lot better about themselves now, as Thompson takes the first run. As Brandy highlighted, they have had over 60% possession so far. Paul Vaughan rocks sideways with the first contact there. So the completion rate, it's good for Canterbury. 9 from 10, just that messy play the ball from Thompson was the handling error by them. Marshall King, Canterbury thought they'd earned a set restart there. It was slow to get away from King. Pengai Jr. there with the ball. Finally getting some possession. Only had the 1 run tonight. What a kick. It is something to watch. I know the Easter show's over, but it could have been an attraction at the show, the high ball. Monstrous kick.
It's almost like those kicks that come out of the kicking machine.
Yeah, that's right.
Which are incredible. As Tedesco starts their set, and here he goes again. Staying alive, gets his side out to halfway. Pretty quickly too.
That is only the 2nd tackle. The Roosters warm into their work now with Collins. Full year since his knee reconstruction. Let's hope for a full season from him. Keary now on to Kieran. Handy player, 15 games last year for them. Adam Kieran. Keary brings them back in field for Radley. Last play on the red line, Bulldogs end of the field, the 20-metre line. The kick there from Walker. Dufty attacks it. Really has a crack at it and did it with urgency. And the Bulldogs on their own goal line. Oh, Ockenbore's almost had a horrid moment. It's still going to end up disastrously for the Bulldogs. He's a big frame. He's got to get to ground, but the bobble.
Oh, that cruelled him, the bobble. The bobble's, he stopped on his run because he had to make sure that he took control of the ball, and once he stopped, the defence arrived. It's only that fraction of a second where he almost dropped it, that slowed his run down, and then it made him an easy target for the Roosters' defence that were the flying off their line.
Now the good work of Dufty is undone somewhat. Roosters to have a full set inside the Bulldogs' half. And it is Collins to bring it back. Play 1, 30 out from the Bulldogs' line. Verrills, only his third game for the year, dummy half for the Roosters. We know how good he is. Might just set something up here, you'll see from Keary shortly as Radley delivers for Walker, then on for Tedesco, the stop, the comeback inside, the stutter step, now across field and falls into a tackle. That will be called high. Well, I have some compassion for the defence because...
Well, he's inside the 10, he can't take the quick tap, but you're right. Tedesco stumbled as he got to the defensive line and fell into the tackle. It's very hard to get out of the road.
Bobbing around in all directions, and the Roosters again looking for strike back on the Canterbury first try. Verrills on a set restart. Keary without a 4-pointer this year. Luke Keary. Here's Manu. That hasn't been his problem. He scored 6 this year. Held up by Burton. The Fox. Shop is there. Now back, not a good ball. Radley played it cool with Collins. Verrills to Radley, right up to the line. Walker, Tedesco, knocked down by Ockenbore's. Some redemption for Jaden Ockenbore's, but still the pressure valve is not quite off yet.
Yeah, he saw he was at a disadvantage there. Jaden Ockenbore's, a couple of players on his outside. That's Roosters players. It was Adam Kieran and also Nangama, and just took the odds to it, realised the problem, stuck that big right bit out and got a touch to it.
You'll be nervous now. You see Roosters behind the scrum. Tedesco is standing, look at them, directly behind the scrum. Likewise Walker. Where are they going to go? They're going to go to the right side. Suddenly it's a 4-on-3 and it's an intercept for Gasso! He is away! The fastest man on the planet apparently! Josh Addo-Carr sprints away to score. Canterbury have got their second. Maybe the sequence will happen. Maybe he won't stop at 3 or 4. What a run, what a moment.
Yeah, what a play by Josh Addo-Carr. They did swing to the right, both Walker and Tedesco, to try and create the extra man, which they did, but Addo-Carr read the lofted pass. Got a good plan at watch the Roosters too. The 6 and the 1 swing around. Thought that Suaali'i was unmarked, which he was, but couldn't get the ball to him. And Addo-Carr, great to see him in full flight. That's his 5th try, but I think his 4 previous tries, he's run about 10 metres at the furthest. This one, a 90-metre dash. Yeah, it's good to see. And fantastic. The Dogs score their second.
What about that? What about that? This at the ground that he got the 6.
Oh, look how well
last year.
Just look how well he did that and how he had to leap and outstretch that arm. Fingertip touch just to push it up in the air. Fell down into his hands and off he went.
So a hat-trick against the Roosters last year for Melbourne, round 16. He's now got 16 tries at this ground in his 12th match. That includes the 6-try haul here against South Sydney. He's scored a couple of tries in a grand final win here. Scored a try in a beaten grand final side here. Is a script being written for Addo-Carr to have another huge night at Accor Stadium?
Well, Bulldogs fans are hoping that's the case, Andrew. It's certainly a good start, isn't it?
Josh Addo-Carr. Bulldogs fans have only got the intercept. You see people suddenly standing up out of their seats. They're 8-0 in front.
Well, they had to survive a little bit of pressure down the other end. That was looking dangerous. The start of that set, Walker and Tedesco just sitting in, tucked in behind the scrum, swinging right, trying to create the extra man. Addo-Carr did a tremendous job to get his fingertips to that ball.
So Burton gets another crack. You'll want to get this one. It's great to be in front, but he won't want to miss here. And he doesn't. So he's 1 from 2. 10-0 Bulldogs. James, sideline.
The Bulldogs off to a flyer, Vossi, and it is courtesy of that man, Josh the Fox Addo-Carr. Brilliant intercept try here. That makes it a double so far for the evening. And a lot written and said about the Bulldogs this week. Their general manager of football, Phil Gould, jumped in at training, had the whistle in his hand. Has he flicked the switch, Vossi? Has he got them going? Well, so far, they're on fire.
Yes, he's got... He came in with a suit bag. The unconfirmed reports, there's a white suit with gold chains in the suit bag. If they win, it could be a big night. It'll be Gus Ryder, Flow Rider, getting about. So Canterbury, 18 metres inside their own line. A long way to go. A long, long way to go. But they can enjoy it while they can at 10-0. And the Roosters have to... I'd like to think they're the next to score. Now Marshall kicking on, and this is a pretty purposeful set to follow up points. Waddell there. Play 4 almost to the 40. Chip away behind marker, and that is the last tackle. And a good kick would be a copybook set from them. Too often the poor sides, they score a try, they drop the ball the next set. Coach Killers, Tedesco with the ball for the Roosters. They have their opponent 23 metres out from their own line, starting a set. That's a good result.
Absolutely, that's a great result. Matt Burton kicking that one from around halfway, and if you're going to land it in that 10-metre zone, 10 yards out in the try line, somewhere in that, you've done your job. And the Roosters try and work it closer to halfway to get their kick in.
Now for Verrills taking off, just probing there. Pengai Jr. had him. Tedesco will do the same. Then with a little bit of angle, find Crichton. But they've eaten up 5 of their tackles in the set. In covering just over 50 metres. The kick from Keary. Pressure on Dufty. Dufty's there. He copped a check from Suaali'i that was almost like a knee rather than an arm. It's an odd one from Suaali'i putting pressure on the catcher.
Yeah, he just didn't get close enough to go in the air, but then continued on his run and half a jump. Made contact, no real damage done there. Just clipped the side of Matt Duffy, just spun him around a bit, but looked a lot worse than what it was.
He was the late bus, that's what he was. That's the Suaali'i there, just a tad late. Passenger already gone. So Canterbury with the ball from the free kick, 30 metres out from their own line. It's a pretty good battle over there, Shop and Manu.
Shop was outstanding last week against Cotonou Stags, and for most of the game I thought he was ahead in that one-on-one battle.
Sam Walker must be thinking to himself, when are they going to get Pengai running it? They just, here it is now. Here's your answer. They just haven't come Pengai Jr.'s way at all. And he finally has just his second run of the match. Now for Flanagan, across for Burton. 2 tries to Josh Addo-Carr. We're 25 minutes into this Fox League Super Saturday battle. Bulldogs, Roosters, Burton, the Fox, his kick, and yet another ricochet, and the Roosters may have taken that over the sideline.
They have had no luck, have they, the Roosters, off kicks that you wouldn't rate really from the Bulldogs. Haven't been able to clean them up. Burton, I thought, did the wrong thing by throwing it across. He should have hit an Aaron shot there. Threw it across his face to Addo-Carr, which left him with no room to work, but somehow, again, they'll get the ball back.
Poor old Jared Hargreaves, he went flying through like Superman, got to cover up the ball. He's put in the effort. Said earlier, just maybe they're not, just little signs. I mean, you're right, the kicks have been pretty marginal. And they've got 3 results now from ordinary kicks. Canterbury 18 metres from the line with a 10-0 lead. King will be the man to play it. 9 from the line. Marshall King looks upright. Flanagan, Duffy, and across with Amarillo. Nangama was grabbing. Missed him at first attempt. Pengai Jr. will have a crack from dummy half, and that is just a wasted play.
Well, they could see he was going to have a crack. After 2 runs so far, he was on the ball. He wanted it.
Now Duffy set a little better this time. Marshall King, Vaughan, Flanagan, Burton. They're going to say it's travelled forward. They get it wrong. The Roosters' defence put a bit of pressure on. The Bulldogs almost if committed to going left. They couldn't adjust.
It was all a little slow from the Bulldogs there, and Joey Manu did a great job. That he knew the man that was going to end up with the footy, and that was Matt Burton. Went straight at him. Hit him as the ball arrived, and that was enough to force the error.
Let's go down to James Hooper. There's movement on the Roosters bench, James.
Trent Robinson about to make a double. Interchange Siwa Torquiaho and Nat Butcher preparing to come into the action, Vossi.
I notice near you too, Billy Sakrikis is up. And he'll be thrown into the game this early. The Greek international for his 2nd game in the NRL. Now Tedesco allowed to run a long way. Pengai Jr. over the top there. Oh boy, and then a push in the back. Talk about giveaway a penalty. Can you believe that?
Well, then now he wants to go on with it.
What is that about?
He's had 3 runs, 2 runs and a run from dummy half. Now he's given a penalty away.
What's that about?
That's kids' footy stuff. That is schoolboy football.
Would not have knocked a maggot off a chop. Just an ill-disciplined play. And the Roosters advance themselves upfield 25 metres and start a set. Verrills. Butcher into the action. Torquiaho into the action. You know their credentials. 10-0 to Canterbury though. Kiri out the back. Walker goes that short flat ball again. Crichton can't weave through there. 10 away from the Bulldogs line. Radley keeping it going for Tupounua. Good defence, Canterbury. Flanagan drove in real hard low. Verrills, scoop and pass away for Kiri to link up with Tedesco. It's very sideways, Roosters. There was no straight runner there. Last play for Trent Robinson side here. And in front of Kiri, his kick to the in goal. There's 2 Bulldogs there. It's loose. Flanagan comes around to take the ball, and Cummins wants to just check if there was a Roosters hand in there at all.
Yeah, I thought he said it comes off the Roosters first. Kiri under a lot of pressure, still got the kick on the spot.
They've ruled that way, and straight away Bunkers had one look and said Kieran's hand there. See, that's the insurance policy from the referees. They go line drop out, knowing they won't rush back to the 20 because they've got the insurance to check it.
Well, that's what Ben Cummins just said. He said, I think it's come off the Roosters first. So that's the way the Bunkers saw it. And any luck in the game so far has gone the Dogs' way. A touch from Adam Kieran gives the Bulldogs a 7-tackle set. So
that becomes only play number 2, 10 metres inside their own half. 2 Addo-Carr tries so far. Ball Horn going off out the back. And Suaali'i is onto the field. So is Suaali'i as he's out there. Can we call him Bustling Billy in his second match? He can get the tag. I don't know Greek for bustling, but we'll just settle it. Bustling as Burton goes high, not his biggest, but still pretty big. And Suaali'i's got nothing. He jumped, and I don't think he was anywhere near the ball.
He was metres away from the ball. I don't think he's got a touch to it.
Adam,
Because it wasn't the
captain's challenge.
Burton Classic.
Okay, Bulldogs a challenge and no touch from the Roosters.
No, it was the end over end, and it didn't travel as far as he wanted it to go. Suaali'i came through, had to move forward to make a play at it. I think, well, if Dufty gets involved, he's in front.
Matt Dufty is the only one offside at this point. He's not chasing.
He doesn't chase. The ball drops a lot shorter than Suaali'i thought. Ooh, that left hand got a little closer than I thought, and it was what he pulled it away.
That Luke Keary here, it's a bit of a shock.
No, he's a long way from the ball.
There is no touch from Joseph Suaali'i.
Yes, and then bounces at some velocity towards the sideline.
And the ball is
So
into
challenge
touch.
is burned.
The challenge is
Dead
unsuccessful.
and buried for the Bulldogs.
That was a terrible challenge. Terrible.
As bad as probably the jump. You compounded it. So 10-0 scoreline.
There's no touch. The challenge is unsuccessful. You don't have any remaining. We've got to play the
It
ball
was hard to
in
tell
the
from
middle.
one angle whether he was close or not. But when they spun it round and you had he was
Push up. Push
he was a
up.
metre from the ball.
He still did it, his fingers, Josh. The Fox has seen something. The Fox has X-ray vision of some kind.
Well, the Roosters finally get a little bit of luck and go their way.
Just a bit over 9 minutes remaining in the first half. A reminder, we will brush home on Super Saturday up in Darwin tonight. Eels and Cowboys, it's a beauty. Two teams with plenty of wins under their belt this season. And then later on tonight, the fan and a real favourite of the Panthers featured tonight with Lower Pit as a Suaali'i Tupounua is bet down for the Roosters as Keary goes through, links up with Tedesco. Tupounua in trouble for the Roosters. Play on for the visitors. Oh, getting back onside. Pengai Junior's been hit in the chest.
He might go to the
No,
bin.
it's not intentional.
Not intentional. He's fortunate.
No, it's not intentional. I don't believe it's intentional.
You watch the ball here from Crichton. It's a ripper. Gets through the two tacklers. One of them, Burton, on the outside. Off to Keary. Had to pass the ball really before he engaged Matt Dufty, and that allowed Dufty to make the tackle on Tedesco.
It's an interesting one, this. If they were defending, you're probably stopping to the injured player.
Report for a hip drop.
Oh, report for a hip
On
drop
Suaali'i.
now. On Suaali'i Tupounua, who is still with a trainer. So we'll get to that later to show you the replay of a hip drop tackle that the bunker has reviewed, but we'll stay with the play for the moment. Tupounua only now jogging back into the Roosters line, so some drama and controversy. Ferrells, they're still chasing their first try. Set restart Roosters for the ruck infringement. 32 minutes, and it's a duck egg for the Roosters so far. Radley for Crichton. And there, Pengai came in fourth man. Was it Suaali'i? It was. Radley, Keary, dummy, Tedesco, gathers it in. Roosters with Tupounua, fend, then head down and wrestle. 7 metres away from the line. I wouldn't say the Roosters' attack is as yet in sync. Keary to Walker, floated over the top. No, it is not playing a sweet tune, the Roosters' attack. Not at all. It's attitude.
Well, you can see that the Roosters are slightly off their game. Whenever they come down this left-hand side, the Dogs have had no trouble controlling it. We'll have a look at the hip drop on Suaali'i Tupounua. And it is Suaali'i It just dropped down onto the back of the legs there of Tupounua. I don't...
Time, I just got no ball, mate. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a classic hip drop. He did land on the back of his legs, but I don't think he swung himself around and with any great force, Vossi.
No.
Okay, Billy.
No, that happened
He
all
just-
very quickly.
Tackle.
Yeah. And this one going right, Walker notices that Addo-Carr is miles in field, but just can't hit Joseph Suaali'i with the ball. It's when they come left and use Tedesco. Tedesco's had to prop stop and head back in field because they aren't creating any sort of advantage in terms of numbers. So not enough's happening on the inside to give space to the outside runners for the Roosters.
23.5 minutes gone. 10-0 to the cellar dwellers. Canterbury trying to put one up, their great rivals. See Menefene on that carry, nice and strong into the Roosters half. It'll be Burton. He's got this on its way to it's moving away, and Tedesco gets it a little high. Recovers, does better than that. All the way back to the 30. Yet another tackle-busting run from James Tedesco. He's already over 100 metres tonight.
Yeah, a couple of outstanding kick returns from James Tedesco tonight to get the Roosters out of trouble.
Oh, Joseph Suaali'i. Well, he's a young winger saying, Captain.
But
I know I haven't played a lot of first grade, but do you care to back me up on a challenge?
well, not at the moment, it doesn't look like.
Ball's there.
He's been brushed.
Here's the run from James Tedesco. A couple of times tonight he's been able to do this. Gets on the outside of Aaron's shop. Does well in the end just to drag him down by his shorts. And then Joseph Suaali'i wasn't happy with what had gone on, and he probably had a right to pass the skipper.
But 8 games in first grade, and you're a winger. Yeah, Daniel Tupou had the challenge at 200 games. He gets a voice. Canterbury with it.
They've come together a couple of times. Oh, he does slip it out the side there, and it's Radley against Pangai Jr.
Tavita, play the ball, mate.
And it was last year at the SCG.
Yeah. You reckon that might go on a little bit? It started.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's right. No apologies. Sakrikas to play it 30 metres away from the line. Still an opportunity for a first half hat-trick from Addo-Carr. He's got the double. Canterbury 20 metres from the line. Been good for them tonight. Marshall King, he's in a running mood. That's his third. 15 from the line. Waddell. Last play Bulldogs. Repeat set would do with 4 minutes until half time. Across field, they leave the kick late. They're not going to get a result this time. Walker, a little unconventional, has come up with it. But the low kicking game of Canterbury, the low kicking game is low.
They haven't found space here tonight, but they've been able to get a result on 4 occasions. That one, not so lucky for the Dogs.
We get back with Suaali'i Tokiaho there for the Roosters. 10 metres inside their own half. If they're held scoreless, this will be the 3rd time in the last 4 weeks a scoreless first half from the Roosters. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, they were down 14-0 last week against the Dragons, Anzac Day. Here he puts one up, a spiralling bomb going away from Duffy. Gets there in time, though.
Oh, the ball is loose and up, and here is a chance. Oh, the Roosters with 3 minutes to go to half-time. Mind you, the last time they set up from a scrum this far out did not end well.
And he went at Sam Walker, who just made enough contact with the ball there. They've been penalised. Someone's mouthing off, and
Wait there, mate. Wait there. Wait.
I'm not going to put a name on it, but
was it Matt Duff?
you might want to have a look back at that one. The Roosters are 10 metres away from the line. Must have been a fair serve. Verrills delivering that ball. Bulldogs, they've done well up to now. Another defensive set. Out from their line, Verrills. And yeah, we'll play it here. Just a couple of metres away. Here's Verrills again. Walker, dummy, left foot step. Now running around, he's the chook with a head cut off for a Rooster. More succinctly, back for Radley. They are set big to the right here. The Roosters. Veros, they'll have another crack. The Roosters are deciding that whatever game plan they had, they've come up with some plays at odds to that. Last tackle, Keary's looking for Suaali'i, who's gathered it in superbly. What a take by the teenager to come up with a ball. It hasn't all been golden tonight, but that was roll gold right there.
Yeah, what an athlete he is. Joseph Suaali'i got the height advantage over Josh Addo-Carr. Addo-Carr again in field. The kick from Keary on the spot. Just have a look at Matt Duffy and see whether it was Duffy who was penalised. Yes. Well, it might have been Pangai Jr. No, it might have been both of them. And then Keary gets the kick right. It was pretty ordinary set from the Roosters. Didn't look like cracking them. A little juggle there from Joseph Suaali'i. There was no touch, was there, on the head of Addo-Carr as he juggled that? No. Controlled it beautifully.
Oh, that's good.
Controlled it beautifully, didn't he? Suaali'i up over the top. Very difficult when you got your back's to the ball and your back is to the man chasing. All the advantage there with Suaali'i, and well, he's good enough to pull it in. That's special.
Brandy, that's a massive flashback to a teenager who came through the Melbourne. Remember, it was Ralph Alaui's early days. That is his Ralph Alau flying through the air, getting up like that.
It is.
Suaali'i has a try in just his third game for the year.
Well, three minutes before half-time, and the Dogs, Duffy had done a great job to retrieve a spiralling bomb there from Luke Keary. Took the ball, ran into the defence, and then came up with the error that has seen now the Roosters score their first try and a chance to reduce it to 4 points at the break.
That's interesting. Why we have to go to the bucket behind the goalposts to get a ball there? Ball boy Canterbury is up the other end of the field. He's not helping out. He's a good home ball boy. Like, give him a bonus. Give him a free KFC voucher for his work. He's not going to give him a ball. But they had to go and get a ball from the buckets that are positioned behind the posts these days. It's for 10-6. Don't want to curse him, but he's been kicking well lately. Walker, his first one of the night, bringing it back, but not enough. It is a 10-4 scoreline. Well, it's entertaining as far as what we have in prospect for the second half, and of course at halftime in game 2, only halfway through the on-field action on Super Saturday on Fox League.
Yeah, it's worth having a look at this one again. The Keary kick was just spot on. Look, that's on the try line. It lands on the try line, so all your winger needs to do then is catch the ball. Now, I know that's easier said than done, but you land the ball on the try line, you have a much more chance of getting a result than not.
So Suaali'i, 18 years of age, still a little bit of growing to do as well. He's going to be an awesome physical specimen as Burton on the kick-off. The final seconds of the first half. Roosters with Tupounua on the run. They'll be content to have reduced the deficit by 4. 3 tries in the first half. Josh Addo-Carr scored Canterbury's 2 tries. Joseph Suaali'i in Addo-Carr's corner got the response right on the break in what has been a very interesting week for Canterbury. They go to half-time leading the Roosters by 10 points to 4. Roosters haven't beaten or haven't lost to the Bulldogs since round 17, 2016.
Yeah, and what the Dogs need to fix up is their short kicking game. They need to find space. They need to get repeat sets. They won't get the luck that they had in the opening 40 minutes off their short kicks.
Second half underway off the boot of Adam Keighran, and Burton the catcher. And we're rocking and rolling again into the second half here on Fox League. Eels and Cowboys still to come on this Super Saturday from Darwin and on the Fan tonight. Terrific piece with Isaiah done by Lara Pitt. He's a Panthers favourite. One of the stars of our game these days. So can the Bulldogs, what if they could start like the first half? What if they could get the first 2 tries? Dare to dream, Canterbury fans. Oh, well, dare to have a nightmare, because Marshall King, on the opening set of the second half, has lost the ball, and the Roosters will go on the attack.
Yeah, Tevita Pangai with an early run, very few in the first half. And that's what he can do. He can hit, spin and offload, and Marshall King was passing before he caught the ball. He was looking at the player that he was going to hit with the pass before he actually had it in his hands. Unfortunate for the Dogs.
See, one player has been quiet tonight. Let's not, be biased criticism. Joseph Manu, 1 run for 3 metres in the first half. Nothing worked his way. No runs in field. No dummy half carries.
Oh, that was
Roosters forward pass from the scrum. Did I say they are out of tune? Well, this guitar's missing about 2 strings. What's going on, Greg? Explain how a team with all its stars on deck
can get something as simple as a pass like that wrong. I can't. I've got no answer for that. I don't know. We're only just talking about how poor they've been inside the 20 and what they haven't created for their outside men. And play 1, they throw a forward pass and turn it over.
Pengai will take the run, and the error from Marshall King. No price paid at all. No petrol used up. If anything, it just advanced them a minute closer to the end of the game. See Manafane on that carry for Canterbury. No Josh Jackson for the Bulldogs tonight. COVID. Thompson taking over. Here he is to play it. 5 metres inside their own half. Canterbury, Burton, and across, and another almost a drop ball from Waddell. Looked like it was on its way out. Sprinkers with this run. Report for a hip drop tackle. The allegation from the first half. Last tackle Canterbury, and Burton put up a Burton special. No, he goes conventional. Just floats down to Tedesco, and he'll bring Suaali'i back into the play. So Suaali'i, by comparison to Manu's, had now 7 runs tonight. Manu just the 1 carry.
Well, this is as quiet he's been for all season, Joey Manu, because we've got some centres right across the competition that are in amazing form. Joey Manu is up there with them. A couple of brilliant games for them against the Dragons, the Warriors and the Broncos.
Time Keary took them all the way to the line. Roosters 10 metres inside the Canterbury half. Keary again, nice and flat. More direct from the Roosters there. Looked a little better, but it is the last tackle, and Keary takes over with a kick from 35 minutes out. Dufty gets pushed off the ball, I thought, by Manu, but Canterbury have come up with it anyway.
Now, he's got to be the target. If they're close to the try line, they're better off kicking in the middle of the field and trying to go over the top of Matt Dufty. Gives up a bit of height to everyone.
Addo-Carr spun his way through a Nat Butcher tackle there. Duffy in for Pengai Jr. Another offload. It's exactly passing to a man in a better position, but Dufty's made the most of it. And now headed for the sideline, loses the ball forward, and Canterbury have a second error inside their own half. In the second half, they opened the door for the Roosters. James Hooper on the sideline.
The Bulldogs have been in the headlines all week, Andrew, and you can see how much this game means to them. Their coach, Trent Barrett, is watching this game down sideline. He's sitting on the plastic chairs with all of the players, and you can see up above in the grandstands, the great Augusta School.
Yeah. Must have the mic on in there, what is being said. Coach that during the week. What do you say to Tevita Pangai Jr.? Do you put the offload away when you're inside your own half? I mean, it's not classic offloading.
No, when you just sort
keep
of pushing it off
keep
out
arms
over the back.
free and pushing it out.
Well, I was just about to give Dufty a rap for what he made from a tough pass from Pangai Jr., but he got taken out.
So here's Keary. Will run up to the 20, cuts him with him. So you keep thinking the Roosters are going to click in a moment. Let's see if it's this set. Radley, better, Keary, and Crichton not able to bust through the Burton tackle there. Waddell also, straight through to Tedesco. He's gone through the turnstiles. The Bulldogs defence have offered the wet paper towel defence. And James Tedesco has got one of the easiest 4-pointers of his career.
Yeah, the skipper has been the Roosters' best and comes down a short side there where there was plenty of Dogs defenders, but somehow just burst through a couple of tackles. A little bit more direct. They hit the flat runner in Angus Crichton. Tedesco's looking to go open, then stays to the short side. Skips on the outside, throws the dummy. Did Dufty get in the road of Suaali'i as he tried to make that tackle? Oh, that's what Corey Waddell was talking about.
Right.
Waddell was looking to the sideline, wanting some action taken. Suaali'i just falling off the Tedesco tackle.
Now, that's an interesting one. The bunker cannot go back to that because that is before the play the ball. So that is the previous play. They can only... He can't take that now.
Once the play the ball has happened, once Tedesco picks the ball up, that's it.
That's it. So if it was the dummy half, we can go back to it.
Yeah. There's no doubt he's lost that ball.
Yeah.
Crichton loses the ball. Waddell, I thought when Waddell was barking something at the touch judge, I thought he must have thought, but
oh boy.
Anyway,
that replay doesn't get good, does it? The miss on Tedesco. Man.
Yeah, they weren't short numbers at all. And when Tedesco came down the short side, I thought, wow, he's pulled the wrong rein here. He's ran to where they got plenty because Dufty was parked himself down the short side as well. 99
career tries, James Tedesco. 49 of those for the Roosters. He scored 50 in 90 games for the Tigers. His try scoring rate at the Tigers was better than what it's been at the Roosters. There's a stat for you. Kieran with a kick from 10 metres in from touch. So Walker gets brushed after one miss tonight. This to level it up. Oh boy, it's well out to the right, out to the left of the posts.
Well, I guess you stick with Sam Walker. If you think Walker's going to be, well, you know, Walker will be there. He'll be part of the run on side just about every week, unless he's injured. How often will Adam Kieran be? He comes in for Paul Momorowski for this game. As we look at it again, and gee, Bulldogs fans won't enjoy seeing that.
James Hooper down on the sideline.
Yeah, well, speaking of Bulldogs fans, Brandy, they have let Ben Cummins know in no uncertain terms, some colourful adjectives, what they thought of that decision.
Yeah. There would be some thinking they could go to the bunker, but that is the previous play. Down on the catch from the kick-off. So, 10 points to 8. Bulldogs still in front. 32.5 minutes remaining. Game 2, Super Saturday Fox League. We find ourselves dead level in the possession stakes. By the way, Tedesco with that try. 11 runs for 140 run metres and now 5 tackle busts and a line break tonight. On the back of a big game on Anzac Day.
Yeah, they're very good numbers, aren't they? Side is down by 2 points. Ugly straightens things up.
Now, Verrills, Keary. No doubt Keary's trying to take more charge of the team here. As Dufty all the way back to his own goal line, and almost an obstruction as Addo-Carr found himself in front of his fullback. Canterbury 5 metres away from their own line. They've had some possession issues in their second half inside their own half. They would like to get through this set without issue. Addo-Carr. That's 3, and they're only just outside the 10.
Yeah, the Roosters of the last couple of years would be forcing the Dogs to kick this from inside their 30. Let's see how good their defence is, how quick their line gets up into the face of the Dogs.
Play 4 just outside the 20. Made by Waddell, and now Pengai Jr. picking his target. Nat Butcher had hold of him with Verrills and Tokyo. Last tackle, oh, it went past the dummy half. They recover. And Burton goes long, finds the grass. That's a good result. That's a good result, the end of a flat set.
Well, he's kicked that from just on the 30-metre mark, and it's landed 5 metres out from the try line by the time Suaali'i took it. Gets his side out of trouble.
Roosters with it. And Tupounua. I don't know what you're thinking watching this at home at Fox League. What would be a winning score for either side in this match? Where are we going to land? It's 10-8. It's got very tight. Verrills and able to offload Radley.
That was great work by Victor Radley there. This time Tedesco taking the ball and making metres.
Walker onto Tupounua. It's been a big set, this one, for the Roosters, and then losing the ball at the end of it. And Canterbury rush back with Addo-Carr.
He can carry the ball up high around his shoulder, Tupounua, and Pangai got underneath him there and landed on him. That dislodged the ball.
Oh, Addo-Carr with it. By the way, I'm dead set on Joseph Manu watch now. That is another set with maybe the best setter of the game not touching the ball. 1 run, 3 metres. He's stopping the game. He's not... You know, we've criticised others, Stags, earlier in the season, but he's an absolute superstar. He's playing in a dinner suit that he might have to take back without a mark on it. Maybe that's the pressure. It's a very odd one from Joseph Manu tonight. Pangai Jr. on that carry.
Well, they're his best 2 runs, his last 2. Pangai Jr. just getting over the advantage line very quickly.
Bulldogs, this is play number 5, and they lost their way on that tackle. Back it goes for Burton. He's gone end over end again. Tedesco. Oh, Tedesco taken the legs. Averillo penalised there. I reckon even Burton's lost his confidence with his kicking though. He's given us an absolute mixed bag with his kicking tonight.
Yeah, a couple of his high ones just haven't gone as far as he'd want them to, but you know, the high and long ones are much better than their kicks on the ground at this moment.
So the Roosters with the ball 10 metres inside their own half. Just the 1 try in the second half so far. That went to Tedesco, but it did make back-to-back tries for the Roosters. Richard Baker on that run for them. Just inside Canterbury's half. Now for Butcher. They still have Drew Hutchison to come into the game. No sign of Bailey Biondi-Odo yet either for Canterbury. Here's Crichton. Not offloading. Manu will find himself in a dummy half here. Halfway through the set. Passes up for Keary. Dummy and run, but closed off over the top by Marshall King. Last play, Roosters. And it will be the kick from Walker. There's chasers there, but the chasers end up on the ground. In fact, so too did Averillo. Or was it Flanagan ended up on the ground, and Canterbury have got the ball. I thought it was going to be big pressure. It ended up none whatsoever.
From Walker. Placed it well. Just ran on there. Yeah, Kieran's just run straight into the back of Flanagan. And in the end was nowhere near the ball.
Marshall King, the Burton, he'll kick from outside the 30. He's got a bit on this one. He's kicked 140-20 this year. You can make it 2. Burton, that's 11 out of 10. That was fizzy downfield, and look at the Bulldogs celebrate that.
Yeah, while their kicks on the ground haven't been fantastic, Burton's long kick he gave, look at that. That was a metre outside the 30. The torpedo that finds touch 5 metres from the try line.
That's serious spin on that ball. That's a magic 40-20. Bulldogs with it. Vaughan takes the first carry. 13 and a half into the second half. Marshall King, Burton, still without a try in Canterbury colours. Marshall King, right side, Dufty, over the top, Addo-Carr! The rainbow pass has worked for Dufty, and Addo-Carr has scored for Canterbury.
The lofted pass that didn't work for the Roosters in the first half, and ended up seeing Josh Addo-Carr run 90 metres, is bettered by Matt Dufty's out the Addo-Carr. a brilliant pass from Matt Duffy, but it was the 40-20 of Matt Burton. Just a metre or two outside the 30, and it finds touch 5 metres from the try line. That was a great kick, and then Duffy. Gee, that's a ball. The weight of that just had to be absolutely spot on. Couldn't get it wrong. We've seen so many players throw those over the top of players' heads, throw them short, intercepted by the defence, but Duffy gets it over Nangama into a space of only a metre or two down that sideline for Rockenbaugh to score. And wow, what a turnaround in events.
Yeah.
The Matt Burton kick from outside the 30 as they're rucking it out from their own line after they'd been under pressure, and good enough to make the most of the field position.
Well, I'm now thinking either side has to get into the 20s to win. So Canterbury have got themselves to 14 now. They haven't scored more than 16 points in a game this year.
Well, I'm thinking the Roosters' attack has improved enough in the second half compared to what they offered in the first. Just even Victor Radley's runs, which have been more direct. I think it's improved enough. So the Dogs, they won't be able to rest on what they've got at the moment, Andrew. And I think you're right. I think we'll be in the 20s.
Hasn't exactly been a stellar night for goal kicking. Matt Burton finds himself out near the touchline. He's landed only one sideline conversion this year when he's been the kicker. His 40-20, a big part in the lead up to the Bulldogs' third try. Here he goes, off the left foot. Burton, the fans are up for Canterbury. That's his best strike of the season, the 40-20, the sideline conversion. A star recruit stands up for the Dogs, James sideline.
The Bulldogs' struggle to score points has been well documented, Andrew. They sit last in most attacking statistics in the competition. But this is why they brought that star recruit, Matt Burton. This is why they brought Matt Duffy to the club, the likes of those superstar players. And then there he is, Trent Barrett on the sidelines. He's riding every play, Andrew, like he's on a favourite in the Golden Slipper.
Love it, Hoops.
Yes. Literally, from the kickoff between Addo-Carr and Shop. No. They got it right, but I don't know. All they have to do is put one foot over and touch it.
Addo-Carr knew what was going on. I don't think Aaron Shop did. He was looking for the sideline. Addo-Carr said a couple of things. Oh, wow. Well, he's convinced it went out the full.
Look, it's out. Look, it's touched the line first, but boy, oh boy, Canterbury. You could have made that so much easier. So much easier.
You've got to know where the sideline is.
You know the rules. You don't have to catch it. You don't have to catch it.
Touch
it with a fingertip. So, but Roosters, what a blunder. Again, out of tune. Just attention to detail. Not there. 16-8 now.
Becomes a big set defensively now for the Roosters.
Indeed, Vaughan takes the first one. We've had the Tigers of late knock over Parramatta, knock over the Rabbitohs. Dragons over the Roosters. Wasn't bad last Monday. Now, Marshall King back into Flanagan, Burton, and across for Duffy. Roosters defending their own goal line. Still stacks of time left, just under 23 minutes. And Pengai Jr. carting them forward. 5 from the line. He's got his game face on now. Duffy and Flanagan. Burton for Addo-Carr. Good tackle. Suaali'i up front. Manu came over the top. Crowd wasn't happy. Set Rooster. Because of the ruck infringement, he'll discipline Roosters. 15 away from the line. Canterbury with it. This time, Sakrikis. What about a try for the Greek international and bring the house down? Marshall King. Back with Flanagan. Edge running not hard, but another set restart. This time inside the 10. Dangerous territory now for the Roosters in this set. This is frantic stuff now. 22 minutes to go. 8-point margin. Marshall King back for Flanagan. This is Burton. Shot over the shoulder, the old over the shoulder trick. Then regather. Quick play the ball. Marshall King. Pengo Jr. is dragged down. That's quite a tackle from Keary. Great strength. Out the back. Burton. Legs taken by Manu. Last tackle, the Bulldogs. They've got a bit of white line fever in this set. Shot for Flanagan. The bomb, it's well weighted. 5 metres out.
Great
Too easy
take.
go, Kieran.
Great take, Adam Kieran. That was a bit frantic from the Bulldogs. A couple of times they looked confused as to who should be getting the ball. Aaron Shop got it by accident in one play. They need to give him some more balls. Shop's a very damaging runner, and especially close to the line, but they just couldn't get him into any sort of space.
Here's Radley on to Crichton. No sign of Joey. Joey Manu on the right side. One run, 3 metres, 60 minutes of rugby league. Incredible. And it's not like Roosters haven't had the ball. Last play, he won't get it again in this set. Kick from Keary. Down to the corner. Dufty is coming into his own for Canterbury here. That'll take him up over 100 running metres for tonight. 3 tackle bus, a line break assist, a try assist.
Well, that was a good reply from the Roosters to get it out of their own end, and then the kick land just short of the try line. See their defensive speed, Lindsay Collins on, and Hockenball gets a pass away.
Avarillo, again, we told you right at the top of the coverage, Roosters have dominated in terms of results. 6 of the last 9 between these two clubs decided by 8 points or less. Doesn't matter where they are on the ladder. We've had these closer matches than expected. Canterbury on halfway with Vaughan, has worked hard tonight. Paul Vaughan. Back away for Burton, who kicks for placement. And Suaali'i won't play at it, and the ball will go out to midfield for the restart for the Roosters. Magic round is closer. This time in 2 weeks, Brandy, how good. It'll be the middle night of Magic Round up at Suncorp Stadium, and if you want to be there for this epic 3-day festival, you can secure a 3 or a 1-day pass right now at nrl.com/tickets. And in fact, middle night, Magic Round.
7:30.
7:30, Fox League, Panthers Storm. A little bit excited about that, as I think all league fans should be. Roosters with it. 10 minutes inside their own half. That's better. Direct. Tedesco without shorts.
And without support. He was looking on the outside. They just arrived too late, the Roosters' support.
Now Keary across. There's more points in this Roosters side. Now Manu's got to run. Manu. Just a little jump in front of Burton. Welcome back, Joey. 25 from the Bulldogs line. Keary in with Radley. Good defence. Offload tipped on. Walker. Tedesco. Then confronted by defenders. Not tracked. Tupounua in support. Here come the Roosters. Last tackle play now. Hutchison is out there. With it is Keary. Tries the low kick. He's got it in goal. And Shop takes it dead. Way better from the Roosters.
That is the best they've looked. And we spoke about Tedesco and Victor Radley and how direct he's playing. This is the end result, with Keary rolling one into the in goal, forcing the Dogs. It was Aaron Shop to knock it dead. But that inside play between Radley and Tedesco has now opened the Dogs up through the middle a couple of times. Tedesco looking to link with his left side support. No one there. But a much better set from the Roosters.
Short drop out from Burton, kicking, trying to find no man's land. Roosters have knocked it on. And Canterbury come up with a ball. He says, double knock on.
Yeah, knock on. Paul Vaughan tried to scoop it up but couldn't. So the first knock on was by the Roosters. I think it was Adam Kieran coming in. They're challenging.
Yeah. Bulldogs don't have a challenge, we know that. They
Roosters are challenging.
earned that in the first half, but Roosters with one up their sleeve.
Well, live, I thought Kieran made a touch and knocked it on. He looked like he was the one that got up in the air.
Good lead.
Oh, no.
Oh, well.
No, he hasn't. That was Ockenbaugh who got his hands in front of Kieran.
Just looking to confirm who knocks on first here.
Well, Ockenbaugh actually knocks it back.
Yeah, and then
So he's knocked it back.
and then Paul Vaughan will knock it on in his attempt to pick it up.
So it will be...
Going to be a Roosters win. They're going to win their challenge. This is a huge result for them. Terrific kick from Burton. The short drop out. Well, it's a weapon if you get it right.
So it's a knock back Ockenbaugh.
The
but
ball
we have
is
sort of-
knocked backwards by Jaden Ockenbaugh.
And then knocked on by Vaughan.
Knock on, Vaughan.
So
And then knocked on by
take
Paul
a tap.
Vaughan.
Roosters.
The challenge is successful.
Yes, it is. Massive result.
And Kieran feeling chuffed with himself there.
Challenge remaining, and it's a scrum. Where would you like it? 20 metre. Okay, we've got a scrum on the 20 metre, no clock.
Okay, they're going to set the scrum on the 20 and stack the right side.
One scrum went wrong for them tonight, and they had that Addo-Carr intercept, but surely that doesn't happen again. So the key players are all out here from the scrum. Keary, Bradley, Tedesco. They're ready to go. Manu out in the centres. Suaali'i at the end of a big, deep back line here. Roosters, Keary squares it up. Tedesco doesn't pass, steps another 12 metres away from the line. The big sweep didn't quite eventuate. 17 minutes to go. The margin is outside a converted try. Collins on the run. He's 4 metres away from the Canterbury line.
We lost that.
And has lost the ball. And up go the Bulldogs fans again.
They might want to challenge this as a strip.
Where would you like it?
Oh, he's speaking silent.
Yep.
Lindsay Collins.
They're not happy. Gets him, backs his way into the close to the try line, and he just tries to free his arms, and in trying to do that, just loses control of the ball. Pulls his arms down. Trying to get himself set for a quick play the ball.
What a let-off for Canterbury. A mistake from the Roosters.
Let's bind him properly. This is a dog's breakfast
Completion
here.
rate
Let's get him. Come on.
77%.
Get him.
Bulldogs 79%.
Come on, let's go. Hold there.
Well,
Bind
Ben
it in,
Cummins
bind it
trying
in.
to achieve the perfect scrum. As Canterbury have the ball, 10 out from their own line. By the way, James Tedesco in that last set took his running metres for tonight to 204 metres from 16 runs, 10 tackle busts. Well, he's going, he wants to get a long-range try. He'll go over 300.
Well, he did that last week too. Got to 290. He had 23 runs last week and almost dragged the Roosters from 14-0 down to get a win against the Dragons.
And that stat we showed you there, it's inflated with Addo-Carr because, what, 80, 85 of those metres were all in the scoring of the intercept try in the first half. Burton kicked from 30 out. But this time Suaali'i's got it. And he will bring it back from 20 metres out from the Roosters line. Well, they have to be the ones to score next, the Roosters. 15 minutes to go with the margin 8 points.
Well, they've just wasted a set down there with the mistake from Lindsay Collins. I know there's 15 minutes to go, but they don't want to waste too many more chances if they get down that end, having to score twice.
Maria Hargreaves back on for the Roosters. Here's Hutchison. Bradley, Walker running with Tedesco for Kieran. Then Ngama at the end of the back line. And good defence, Avarillo and Flanagan. Roosters now set on the right side, trying to work the Bulldogs defence over. Keary and Hutchison. And across. And Burton got up there quickly on Crichton there. Hutchison from dummy half on the last tackle. Risky ball. Maria Hargreaves has put it down. Another stringer's busted on that guitar.
Well, he just asked if they wanted to challenge it, and they are. Hutchison throws the dummy, gets him behind the defence there.
Captain's challenge. Where's the challenge? Where's the challenge in and knock on there? by Jared Hargraves.
But the Dogs' defence arrived pretty quickly, so they're challenging the knock-on by Hargreaves. Hutchison just pushed one out the back last
backwards
play.
by Drew Hutchison.
What's he thinking? Jared,
didn't he get a touch the first time it came back to him?
COVID test at the very least for the Roosters front rower. I don't know what to say about that.
Well, he does. He gets his hands all over the ball. He drops it onto his knee.
He drops it a second time into the ground. I mean, that is a front rower on tilt. And if the last challenge was a good one,
well, that was desperation. That was sheer desperation from Roy Hargreaves.
It's called a liquidation sale on a challenge, I think. They've
convinced his captain that he didn't touch it.
The initial touch from Jared Hargraves is travelling forward. He then negates it and it is pushed backwards.
Well, hang on a second. This is the greatest comeback I've ever seen. They're saying he then negates it by knocking it back. Then Max King tried to trap and got hit in the you-know-wheres and then sat on the ball, and James Tedesco tried to get it out from underneath him. There's a fair bit going on in this replay.
And that's a knockback. Okay. Well, if he thinks the ball went
got
back
it played
there,
up by Bulldogs, still playing on at this point.
There's another knock-on.
But then it is retouched by Jared Hargraves, and this constitutes a knock-on.
As I said, there's a lot going on.
The challenge is unsuccessful.
A lot just happened there. The role by Max King is best supporting actor in an abomination, in a rugby league abomination. That he tried to trap it, and then the ball hits him in the you-know-wheres.
That's a second touch by Jared's a knock-on.
Ben's saying, I don't want another challenge in this game, because that just did my head in. So you're not going to have another challenge.
I wonder if Trent Robinson's shaking his head because they lost the challenge or because Jared thought that he didn't knock it on. There's almost 3 knock-ons in that.
If that was the swan song for a captain's challenge, Frank Sinatra's I Did It My Way would be playing. That was incredible.
And that's it.
That's it.
They won't get another one. They need 2 more tries. They've got 13, just on 14 minutes left on the clock. And if it gets desperate, they won't have another challenge. It gets down to the final few minutes and a decision goes against them, they won't have a challenge because they threw that one up.
So 7 of 11 completed sets, second half for the Roosters on the result of what we witnessed there. And Drew Hutchison last tackle too. Let's go back to the catalyst for the mess that we just saw unfold. What was going on there with Hutchison? Played by Ockenbaugh. Canterbury, bottom of the table. Have lost their last 8. Haven't beaten the Roosters since 2016. Maybe tonight. Vaughan just short of halfway. No Bulldogs fans feeling comfortable just yet. Far from it. Dufty's with it. 13.5 minutes remaining. Last tackle, Canterbury. Burton. And again, he's gone end on the kick. Suaali'i with it. Away at first attempt from Addo-Carr. He's had some tough moments, but some good moments as well tonight, Joseph Suaali'i. It's all part of the journey in first grade.
Yeah, the Dogs don't have to be much more fancy than what they just offered in that set. They just have to get the ball around halfway. Matt Burton put it near the try line and then defend for their lives.
Hargreaves on this carry up to the 40-metre line. Marshall King on top there. I don't think Trent Barrett is going to take Marshall King off tonight. He's just going too well. I don't think Bailey Biondi-Odo is going to see any football.
That's a strong run from Angus Crichton and a reasonably quick play the ball off the back of it.
Tedesco up around the ruck, lurking there. And again, he's bouncing out of tackles and offloading. Kept alive, Bradley. Out for Tupounua. Tupounua just brought down 10 metres away from the line. Down in back play for the Bulldogs is Averillo. The kick across field, looking for Suaali'i. Brilliant again, still the last tackle. Tedesco can't get a kick in. He's lost the ball. The Bulldogs hang on another 6.
And I think it was Aaron Schott who got him from behind. Tedesco was trying to get back centre field to put a kick in, and Schott, he surprised him, grabbed his jumper. That forced Tedesco to drop the ball. lazy there at dummy half. The Bulldogs, Matt Burton, almost lost possession. I'm still Tedesco and Crichton and Radley look like they can supply something for the Roosters.
You're looking at the clock, you're thinking 11.5 minutes. That is still time in the... Well, what Melbourne did last week, it's like 5 tries, but I'm saying realistically it's 2 or 3 still, potentially, but it's Canterbury who can control their part of the deal, completing sets, kicking long. Right at the moment, we were talking about 2016, might be a winning score. Last tackle, Canterbury. Not a lot of metres made in the set. The kick from Burton, it was only 31 metres in fact. Suaali'i's underneath it. And now they have to defend the Bulldogs and the Roosters.
He had plenty of time to kick that, Matt Burton, and probably could have kicked it a lot further, but the Roosters need to put a little bit of heat on Burton and try and rush his kick.
Got a towel left on the field out there. Someone's left their dirty washing on the ground, and Ben Cummins.
Jake, we've got the independent doctor, HIA, mate, tackle 2.
So,
Kevin Naguama.
who goes to the coaches' conference if they win?
Independent doctor. Off you go, mate.
Well, there you go. And we said he was down for quite some time, Averillo, and now the independent doctors had a look, and Averillo will come from the field. And Canterbury will have to do a little redeployment of the troops, and the coach, Barrett, has to do this on the run as to how they're going to compensate for that. Yeah, Averillo, you can't argue the decision. You're gone from the field, and they will work out what they do out at right centre.
Yeah, Pangai Jr. is going to come back onto the field, so you would think that he'll go onto an edge, and one of the back rowers is pushed out to the centre.
And out at right centre.
Yeah, look, we just flashed to Trent Barrett and Phil Gould, and if they play well and lose, the result is the same. It's a loss.
Yes.
They need a win. Yes. It's got to be a W. It can't be a great performance. They get beaten on the bell. Yeah, a lot is hanging on this. And Trent Barrett, as James Hooper said, he's riding every play down there on the sideline.
So haven't scored more than 16 this year. Yet tonight, 16 is holding firm for them. Manu's been caught. Just his 3rd carry of the night, Joseph Manu. Suaali'i, Kiri, cut out across for Radley, for Walker. Tupounua onto the ball, and a good low tackle again.
That was Flanagan.
He's done a lot of good defence, Kyle Flanagan. Last tackle, Roosters. Tedesco attacking the short side. Knocked down by Canterbury, was it? It's regathered by the Roosters. And an entire set 20 metres out from the Bulldogs line. What a Super Saturday tussle here on Fox League. We go into the championship minutes with an 8-point margin. Now Hutchison, Walker holds it up. Tedesco's got another touch. So busy, he bobs up all over the field. Roosters deep this time. Walker and Radley. Maria Hargreaves with it. Taken down low in the tackle of Thompson. Quick play the ball. They're right with Kiri for Crichton. There was a call of forward. That was the referee's voice, Ben Cummins. A forward pass again from the Roosters.
Well, that's inexplicable. It really is. When you, I don't know if it was, but he's called it as such, and you don't want to risk anything like that at this stage of the game and where they are, and it's come from 2 of their most experienced players, Kiri and Crichton, who has been outstanding for them tonight on this right edge. Crichton has been a handful for the Dogs' defence.
Stand up, don't change.
That's 2 forward passes this half. Throwing a forward pass once a month, not 2.5 of football. From a side that is so well drilled and so experienced, and those 2 have played a lot of football together.
Perplexed, the rather glum-looking Roosters coaching box. Canterbury with the ball. 8.5 minutes to go now. Canterbury's completion rate up over 80%. Bulldogs 10 metres out from their own line. They did make a couple of errors inside their own half earlier in this half of football. just got to keep completing while your margin is 8.
Yeah, but they can't shut up shop. They've got to make some metres. They've got to get themselves out of trouble.
Marshall King. They look for one of their biggest troops for the carry. Bengai Jr., he's been better in the second half than the first.
Much better, much more involved, and he's made every run count in the second half.
Now Marshall King, this time it'll be Thompson, and this we play 5. Again, it's a set. It's not massive metres they're carrying the ball, but they've got a massive kicker in Burton if he gets space, and here he is. Just a tap down inside the Roosters 20. Chase is not coming in a straight line for the Bulldogs. Tedesco looks up, looks for a bit of open pasture. Ngama keeps it going, and then with Walker. And the Roosters are 20 metres inside their own half on play 1. 3 tries to 2.
Big contact there. Marshall King on Suaali'i, who's in field for a run.
Start on for Collins. Halfway through this set, another one for the Roosters. Radley, the setup starts good. Walker, Tedesco with support on the outside, onto his knees. As past was he held. Well, the ball carrying Ahmed never hit the ground, and you can boo all you like if the ref hasn't gone out. Do your best, James. And he did. Roosters 20 from the line. Keary. And again with Walker and Crichton offloading. Again there was a cry forward. Again there's a cry forward. Walker puts a kick over the top. Hockenball's knocked it forward. Tupounua's come up with the ball and gone over. Well, there's a few NFL fans saying those passes were fine, but the Bulldogs fans are saying this is rugby league.
Yeah, and you can't pick the forward passes up now that the try has been awarded. Tupounua, the loose ball on the ground, finds his way into that left-hand corner. Not after Tedesco combined down that left side. They had the Dogs' defence sliding. Angus Crichton's been great on the right edge. Offload forward pass there. And then Keary puts a kick in. Hockenball can't handle it. Ngama just enough pressure on him that he can't pull it in. And Tupounua will grab a try that the Roosters desperately needed. 6 minutes to go in this game. Keary's got a couple of short kicks right tonight. One to Suaali'i in the first half, and that one, lots of Roosters around the ball, and the back rower gets the try.
I watched back, and again, and obviously Bulldogs fans all crying forward. There's no howlers there.
No.
I mean, there's some close ones, and maybe if you find me a camera angle right in line, perhaps forward, but certainly no howlers, and you've got to live with it occasionally. But we haven't won many games. Everything hurts. 16 points to 12. You've got this feeling of inevitable. We'll get caught at the death.
I'm sure that's how they're feeling. That's the fans. I hope the players aren't feeling like that, because you don't want to get this close after losing 6 on the trot.
No confirmation. I've just heard Gus pass on it. Trent, you look after the last few minutes here, mate. I'm too old for this. He's done the Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon. I'm too old for this. 16 points to 12. Here goes Kieran. Needs it. Misses. They're none from 3. 3 tries all. 4 points the margin. The great rivalry. For the 178th time they go head-to-head, and it goes right down to the wire.
Yeah, that's great play by Luke Keary. Involved with Crichton down the right side, receives the pass, throws it back in, wraps around, and then puts a kick in. That's the best stuff that Luke Keary's done tonight. Just when they needed it too. Trent Barrett praying that his blokes can hang on. Praying.
What would the prayer be? Burton, he gets it right, gets the range right. In fact, he gets it perfect. So the Roosters have to come back, and on play 1, they're 7 metres away from their own line. It's back to the glory days of Roosters-Bulldogs battles. Certainly in the tension stakes, with 4.5 to go. Now Radley, just checking on Tedesco stats, by the way. He's hit 239 running metres. 11 tackle bust, 3 offloads, line break.
Radley.
And now they're getting it together. Collins just rolls over halfway. Radley, his fingerprints all over it. Verrills on. Here they go again. Back inside. Tedesco. Ball on the deck. It's gone forward. It was passed back. Now I'm fine with that. Passed back and bounced forward. Again, I can live with that. That was my first view. Roosters with the ball. 20 metres away from the Bulldogs line. How hard is it to win a game in the NRL if you wear blue and white? Verrills with Keary and Waria Hargreaves. They can be patient with 3.5 to go. They have the whole set to work. Keary, Walker, then on for Manu. He's back in town.
Oh, he's done
it. Got the pass away. And Suaali'i scores in the corner. Where you been, Joseph? You've come back. Your timing is impeccable. We will have a shot from the sideline to put the Roosters in front.
Well, he's been as quiet as a church mouse, Joey Manu, down this right side, and right through the game you have been referencing that. Only 4 times has he touched the ball, but comes out with a play. Tedesco again troubling them. Verrills, I thought, might have got a touch there, but he didn't. That is play on. And then they swing it to the right. The inside men doing their job, engaging the defenders. And the palm, the fend on shot. He gets out to Josh Addo-Carr to create the space for Joseph Suaali'i. Watch him deliver it here. Absolutely brilliant. And Suaali'i gets down low to find the in-goal area. Incredible. He can't believe it. He can't believe it.
No. And I don't know what to say at this point. Look, 16 all. Keep the heads on. I mean, it's a hell of a put down too, Suaali'i. It's not like an uncharted passage to the line.
They were arriving in numbers, the Bulldogs' cover defence, and he had to get down low, and he did. He was very close to the touchline, the touching goal line, but was able to get the ball down after Manu delivered one of his signature.
Well, hang on a second. Is it the put down? The put down from Suaali'i of the bunker.
Or do you think he's touched the line? Has he touched the sideline?
That's what I'm saying. What a night. Here we go. The fact that the bunker has said we want review, he's already spotted a problem.
Or is it obstruction? Well, Radley gets through. There's no
Just
problem
looking at
there.
Angus Crichton's run here as the lead.
Crichton's run. Crichton at Burton.
He makes
Maritans
contact
go
with
up.
Matt Burton and checks his run. We're still playing on.
Well, the fact that he's touched him, Burton comes close to stopping the try, and I guess he's denied him a chance to get even closer.
In our opinion,
keep going.
That's suspense.
we're playing on at this stage. We're now looking at the touchline.
Oh,
he's
wow,
passed
he's
it.
pulled it back.
He's passed the contact on Burton. Now they're looking at the lines and the put down. Burton comes through. Oh, that right foot. I think the right foot is
Cleared
touched.
the contact by Matt Burton. We're now looking at Joseph Suaali'i's right boot.
The contact of Burton. There's the boat. There's the boat. It's on the line. Is it touching the post? I
Foot
don't
of
know.
Joseph Suaali'i has gone into touch.
Oh, he's
prior
gone
to
into
grounding.
touch.
He's
We'll
right
have a decision.
boot. The ball is above the ground. Trent Barrett, have you won a lottery?
How's he feeling?
Here's the decision.
He can't look. He can't look.
No.
I've tried. Oh!
NOTOY. The Bulldogs hang on when 2 minutes to go. That is drama personified. They check for the high tackle by Burton. What if they had contact? That play on the right can coach.
They go in the middle for a play the ball.
Boy, oh boy, what a moment. Is that El Masri's corner from the 04 grand final where they thought he was held?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. G'day, Hazem. How you doing? A guest on the fan coming up. El Masri's corner. Wow. Cowboys say that Kyle Feldo's a bit of that too.
When the Dogs won their first game last year, Trent Barrett shed a tear.
Yeah.
Let's see.
think
It's still not home yet.
I think he might just mouth something. A four-letter word if they get over here. This is incredible stuff. Bailey Biondi-Odo goes on for the final minutes.
Well, they've travelled nowhere. They've gone nowhere. They're 2 plays down. They've gone nowhere. The Dogs, the Roosters up in their face.
Whoa. Parramatta Cowboys coming up. Exclusive to Fox League on a Super Saturday night.
There's a bit of force in that run from Pangai.
His numbers now 16 hit-ups, 130 metres from Pangai Jr. He's corrected his performance tonight. Well done to him.
Yep.
Because he was on tilt a little earlier. Last tackle. Burton's got the kick away. Under pressure. Under pressure. Bounces up for Tedesco. They're fine with a Collins challenge on the kicker. Tedesco comes back with the ball and takes his running metres over 250.
Well, he just dragged the Dogs' defence another 6 or 7 metres.
So, still time at 4 points the difference. Verrills on halfway. They miss out Maria Hargreaves and Kerry gets them going. Walker does the same. Kieran with the ball. Tackled 20 metres away. Flanagan's there again with a low tackle and Kieran is hurt. And Flanagan knew it. The match on the line. There's the sportsmanship in rugby league, folks. Flanagan concerned for his opponent. That's
Inside 2 minutes. Kieran throws the dummy. Flanagan's made some huge tackles in this second half.
20 tackles, no misses, Kyle Flanagan tonight.
And made some great stops. Grass-cutting legs tackles they've been. And it's a foot problem for Adam Kieran. He grabbed his right boot.
So he is there. Well, if he's up, he has to play it. He can't just pass it on. So
Midway through the set.
Just under 2 to go. Roosters with the ball. Here at Addo-Carr Stadium. It is a thriller. Roosters, right side. Keary goes short and flat to Radley. 5 from the Canterbury line. Low, he's lost it. There's no challengers. Look at the Bulldogs. Stacks on with a Radley drop ball. Another string breaks on the guitar. We don't have Capelco in a moment.
Well, they still had 2 tackles left, the Roosters, and Radley went awfully close. They were only a couple of metres out. It's blowing time off. In between Pangai and Biondi-Odo, the ball is coming out, and then the effort there from Pangai has forced it free. No challenges left, but they wouldn't have been winning that challenge anyway. Minute 42 left on the clock. They will get one more chance. Where do the Bulldogs give the ball back to them for that one more chance?
Second half completion rate, Roosters, 58%. 58% in the second half for the Roosters. Canterbury up by 4. Into the final minute. Ockendall with it. Those Canterbury fans here have bitten all of the nails off. Thompson, they are going nowhere here, the Bulldogs. They are in a cul-de-sac. They're on their 20-metre line. Vaughan on the carry does well to make 6 or 7 metres. It's play 4. Slowly to his feet.
They might only have one play, the Roosters.
So Dufty, they'll be kicking from inside their 30. Biondi-Odo, service is good to Burton, who drives it hard. It's hard, it's hard! And Suaali'i, who doesn't juggle, and passes for Tedesco. Another tackle bust. Bulldogs come from everywhere, and the Bulldogs fans erupt. What an eventful week. What an end to an amazing week for the Bulldogs.